we see this intimate connection often between identical twins, and they're aware of each other's emotions and so forth, even when they're apart. And particularly when things rise to the level of a crisis, then it can intrude into the consciousness of the person that you are bonded with. And what is that bond? That bond is quantum mechanical. It's quantum entanglement.
What are some of the mysteries that stand out to you in physics and within medicine that you wish got more attention?
The essential mystery in physics is, of course, the whole issue of quantum entanglement. But within the last 20 years, the essential experiments have been done that means we have to take it seriously. We can't compartmentalize it away and say and discount it. No, it's not our life through quantum computing and all of that.
But for the audience and for my own sake, well, what is quantum entanglement as far as you understand it?
That multiple particles can live in a quantum mechanical state that persists over time with integrity, maintaining its essential character over an extended period of time. And now you see where this touches the real world is that the other conundrum is how does science deal with mental telepathy? And that is, they don't talk about it, right? Because it's one of the mysteries. Now, you can't make it go away. It's very, very clearly happens. And so, we need to try to explain it. But now you see, we actually have a model. Quantum entanglement gives us a model to explain mental telepathy, that in fact our brains at a distance may still be in communication. So, yeah, go ahead.
Could you say more about that? Because one of the statements you said was, it clearly happens. So you're saying mental telepathy clearly happens. And then you're saying the model of entanglement creates a model that allows us to explain it. Can you connect those two dots for me? Like when you say that it clearly happens, what do you mean by that? And then how does quantum entanglement allow us to see a model for this?
Yeah. So it clearly happens. We, during the Iraq War, there were mothers in particular who, in the middle of the night, realized that had this strong sense that their son was wounded in Iraq, and then that turned out to be true. So, and there are lots of events like that that are, quite numerous and can't be explained away. So there was this connection. We see this intimate connection often between identical twins, and they're aware of each other's emotions and so forth, even when they're apart. And particularly when things rise to the level of a crisis, then it can intrude into the consciousness of the person that you are bonded with. And what is that bond? That bond is quantum mechanical, right? It's quantum entanglement that and in fact that was almost surely critically involved in the whole issue of consciousness, the heart problem. That this is a quantum mechanical phenomenon, and our consciousness can be in long-term communication with another consciousness. We're not necessarily aware of that until maybe the crisis occurs. So it turns out, and this is the connection now with our field, the original discovery of the EEG by Hans Berger was in consequence of such an event, and this really nails it. So he was in the military in Prussia, and was actually severely wounded as a gun carriage nearly ran over him. The horses were spooked, and so anyway, so he thought his end had come. he thought he was going to die. Well, it turns out he was only lightly wounded, as it turns out. But he was afraid that he would die. And that afternoon, he got a telegram from his father asking, how's he doing? Well, that came out of the blue. What had happened was that his sister, who was miles away, many miles away, realized that something had happened to her brother, and communicated with her father. Says, you need to get in touch with the military. I fear that your son has been gravely injured. And so there's a timestamp here. There's a telegram there, right? And you can cite other cases like that. So this is quite clearly a reality, right? And it's a reality that science simply didn't know how to deal with. But now we can talk about it, because now we can make science out of it by talking about quantum entanglement.
Yeah. Well, I would love that. Like so because what I'm hearing in that is that what you're saying is that there's all this phenomena that we've seen over time. And I don't even know if you're familiar. Are you familiar with the telepathy tapes? Have you heard of that recently?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
So
that's quantum entanglement, right?
right. Well, so we see, like, I think to your point, right? There's at least a collection of data of reported phenomena that seems to be coherent and unexplainable in a way that we don't understand, but is clearly repeatable and happens over and over again.
Right.
And what I'm hearing, and I've never heard this before, is that quantum entanglement can explain it. And it sounds like what you're saying, particularly with it, is that it's that the fact that there is essentially that sustained particles or pieces of us, our consciousness or our whatever and whoever we are, maybe physical parts of our body even, are interconnected with each other that's remain stable, and that allows this sort of other form of communication that's sort of beyond our current understanding, in a sense.
Yes. So the thing is, with quantum entanglement, it is, to a certain extent, with these quantum mechanical phenomena and so forth, just a little bit, untouchable. It's a little bit beyond us. It's beyond me anyway. So yes, we have a model, and that makes we don't feel silly talking about mental telepathy and so forth. But the essential mystery will remain. I mean, how far? Quantum entanglement typically requires very specific conditions in which the system is preserved from external perturbations, external inputs, which means we take them to low temperature and so forth. And so these quantum computers are at low temperature, but not the human brain. So how does quantum entanglement even happen, in the human brain? And it may be a matter of scale, that it only sustains itself with sufficient scale. But now I'm talking beyond my pay grade.
No, it's okay though. I appreciate the insight and your perspective. I think, like I said, that there's always things that are outside of our depth of understanding, or where we can go, our pay grade, as you would say. But I also, appreciate the fact that you are a physicist, right? You're somebody who deeply studied this stuff in a way that most people will never even touch, right? And so to hear you talk about some of these things and concepts and possibilities that come from, I think, are fascinating.